You're welcome to our today's lesson. So in our last video we thought about il segnale di Divieto Transito. So where we started by saying that when we are talking about Divieto Transito, so in other words, in English it simply means a prohibition sign, so that does not permit the transit of any vehicles. So that is indicated, in the symbol, in the sign. So today we have another new lessons, which is Divieto Transito Biciclette. Divieto Transito Biciclette. So we have a lot of quiz here in relative to this very topic. So before we move to the quiz, so let me make some little explanation on what this very term is all about. So when we are talking about Divieto Transito Biciclette, in English this simply means a prohibition sign for bicycle. You can see the symbol here. So this symbol is a prohibition sign. So the symbol is all about prohibitions of transit of biciclette. So biciclette in English simply means bicycle. You can see the symbol inside. So there is another word you can also they also use. You can use another word, ciclisti. So all are the same. So in this very sign, is simply saying that on this very road that has this very sign, so bicycles are not permitted to transit. So if you are riding bicycle on any road and you come across something like this, so it's simply indicating that on the very road that this thing is is placed, so you are not permitted to transit. You can ride your bicycle on this very road. That is what it's talking about. So now let us quickly move to the quiz. So number one question says, il segnale raffigurato vieta il transito alla bicicletta. So the answer to this one is vero, and I will explain to you the reason why this one is vero. So let me repeat the question again. It says il segnale raffigurato vieta il transito alla bicicletta. So this sign that is here, it forbid. This vieta simply means forbid. Transito is also familiar in English. Is a familiar word. So it says it forbid the transit of bicicletta. Bicicletta simply means bicycle. Don't forget, we said that this sign is a prohibition sign. It's a sign which forbids the transit of bicycles. And this is the reason why this one is vero. Because the sign, it forbids the transit of bicycle. Take note of that. That is number one. So number two, it says il segnale raffigurato è un segnale di divieto. È vero. Because this very sign that is here in Italian, patente school is known as il segnale di divieto. So it's known as segnale di divieto. So you can see it here. Il segnale raffigurato è un segnale di divieto. So take note of that. So you say il segnale raffigurato. This sign that is here is known as sign of divieto. So a sign that forbids or a prohibition sign. So this is the reason why this one is vero. Take note of that. So number 2 is vero, because it says il segnale raffigurato è un segnale di divieto. This sign that is here is a sign of prohibition, and the answer is true. You can see it. That is the reason why that one is vero. So number 3, it says il segnale raffigurato consente il transito ai quadricicli a motore. So if you look at the symbol here, you will see that something inside is bicycle, which means the only thing that can't transit on this very road that has this very sign is bicycle. So, and the question now says, it says il segnale raffigurato consente il transito ai quadricicli a motore, and it's vero. This sign it permits the transit of quadricicli a motore. When we are talking about quadricicli a motore, we are simply looking at is more like a motor vehicle which has a lower engine. It has a lower engine more than the normal car has. So it's vero. This very sign permits the transit of every other vehicles exempted bicicletta, which is the bicycle. Take note of that. So another one again, it says il segnale raffigurato consente il transito ai pedoni. Now, one thing I want you to take note of here is consente. It simply says that this very sign, consente, it permits the transit of legs. Pedone means legs or pedestrian. In English, it's known as leg, pedone. You know, anyone that is trekking on the road that has this very thing, you are free to trek on that road. You can run on this very road that has this very sign. It permits the transit of pedestrian, pedone. Pedone simply means movement of leg. Consent simply means, you know, permit, allowed. So take note of that. Is the reason why this one is vero. So another one again, say il segnale raffigurato consente il transito ai ciclomotore a due ruote. So he said this very sign, it permits the transit of, you know, ciclomotore a due ruote. When we are talking about ciclomotore is more like motorcycle. But the only thing, the reason why it's not motorcycle, it does not has the same engine that motorcycle has. So it's like a bicycle, but it has an engine, and is more like a, you know, a motorbike. But the only thing that the engine does not supersede the voltage of the engine it does not supersede 50. So that is the reason why it's not classified as motorbike. When we are talking about ciclomotore, this is an example of ciclomotore. You can see it here. It's more like a bicycle that has an engine. But the only thing, the engine does not supersede 50. You can see it here. So that is for that. And that is the reason why that one is vero. So another one again say il segnale raffigurato vieta il transito ai quadricicli a pedale. So he's saying that this very sign it forbids the transit of quadricicli a pedale. Quadricicli a pedale. So it's also a bicycle. It's a bicycle that has a very large space, and the numbers of tires in that bicycle are more than this very one. Whether the bicycle have 10 tires or have 50 tires, or all you should, you know, always take note is that it forbids anything called bicycle. So when we are talking about quadricicli a pedale, an example of that is something like this. It's also a bicycle, but the only difference that this one has 4 tires. So that sign does not permit the transit of this very one. So take note of that. That is the reason why this one is vero. Another one again, it says il segnale raffigurato vieta il transito ai tandem. So it says that this very sign, it forbids the transit of tandem. Tandem is a bicycle, that consists of two axes for driving it. So now, this is what I'm talking about. When we are talking about tandem, an example of tandem is this one: a bicycle whereby 2 people can be driving it. This is it. You can see it. This is not a tandem. Whenever you are answering any quiz during the exam, this question do normally comes out. So they will say this very sign, Divieto Transito Biciclette, that it forbids the transit of tandem. So whenever you see anything like this, these are tandem. So yes, it's vero. It forbids the transit of tandem. Tandem is also a bicycle, but the only difference that it has more than 2 tires. So take note of this very term. This is not a tandem. You can see it is a bicycle. So very long, and the pending axis is more than 1. So that is the reason why that one is why this one is vero. So, and again we have some other questions that are false. So now let us quickly consider the reason why all these ones are false. So it says il segnale raffigurato vale dalle ore 8 alle ore 20. It simply says that this very sign is only valid during the hours of 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the evening. So this very one is false. It's not true. The reason why it's not true, the reason why it's false, is that wherever this sign is indicated, place, so it's always valid, whether in the night, whether in the morning, whether in the afternoon. But in some cases, if the validity of this very sign has a limit, then we also indicate it under. But if it does not have any indication of limit, it simply means that the validity is always, whether in the morning, whether in the afternoon, whether in the evening. Il segnale raffigurato vale alle ore 8 alle ore 20. So it's false. He said that this very sign is only valid in the morning 8 o'clock in the evening 8 o'clock. So it's not true. Take note of that. That is the reason why this one is false. So take note of that. So another one again say il segnale raffigurato consente il transito delle biciclette nelle ore notturne. This notturne, whenever you come across something like this, ore notturne, is talking about night hour. So he's talking about night hour. And the question says, il segnale raffigurato, this very sign that is here, so it permits the transit of bicicletta, which is bicycle, nella ore notturno. So, and he said that this sign permits the transit of bicycle during the night. So we are saying that the transit of bicycle, so is forbidden on the road that has this very thing, whether in the night, whether in the afternoon. So this is the reason why this one is false. So another one again say il segnale raffigurato vieta il transito ai motocicli. So motocicli and bicicletta, they are not the same. Motocicli is normal motorbike. So normal motorbike and bicycle, they are not the same. So on the road that has this very sign, normal motorbike can transit. And we are repeating it again. The only thing that cannot transit on this road is bicycle. Anything outside bicycle can transit on this very road. So, and the question says, il segnale raffigurato vieta il transito ai motocicli. È falso. Because on this very road that has this very sign, motorcycle can transit. Take note of that. So another one again say il segnale raffigurato vieta il transito ai ciclomotori. So, and it simply said that this very sign, it forbids the transit of ciclomotori. So I explained something like this to you before. When we are talking about ciclomotora is this very one. So it looked like a motorbike, but the only thing, the engine of this one is, is not that of the motorcycle. So it has a lower engine. So it has a lower engine, and the engine of this one is no more than 50. So take note of that. And the question says, il segnale raffigurato. The question says, il segnale raffigurato vieta ai transita motocicli is falso. Motocicli can transit on this very road. Take note of that. So it says, segnale raffigurato vieta ai transita ciclomotori. Ciclomotore can transit on this very road. Take note of that. This is the reason why this one is falso. The only thing that cannot transit is bicicletta, which is bicycle. So, another question again say, il segnale raffigurato indica la presenza di una corsia riservata ai bicicletta e ciclomotore. So, and he's saying that this very sign, so is when you see something like this, corsia is normal road. He's saying that this normal sign is placed on a road that is riservata. This riservata simply means reserve. A bicicletta, a road that is reserved for bicycles and ciclomotore, is falso. This very sign is not a sign placed on a road reserved for bicicletta, for bicycles and ciclomotore. Is a prohibition sign placed on a road that which does not permit the transit of bicycles. So this is the reason why this one is falso. So last but not the least, it says il segnale raffigurato indica un parcheggio per bicicletta. So he simply said that the question said that this very sign, it means a location or a place where bicycles are being parked, a garage, a park for bicycles. So it's false because the sign does not say so. The sign simply implies, a prohibition transit for bicycles. So this is where we are ending our lesson of today. Please do always endeavor to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and do not forget to click on the notification buttons. So thanks for watching our video, and have a nice day.